Guys, this is so big. Like, this is kind of like probably gonna go down as one of the biggest kind of weird scenario that ever happened in the 20th century, because the Macrons have sued CANDACE, a sitting president in another state or country, sued a journalist in another country. That's unheard of, to be quite honest. So eventually the Macron has sued CANDACE. But you know what? I'm going to agree with CANDACE when it comes to, like, it's just a PR kind of thing where you sue someone so that you create the impression that you're not guilty on whatever they're probably talking about. Because when you sue, it kind of shows that maybe you are not guilty on whatever they are accusing you about. And I think that's what they are trying to do. I believe that when CANDACE say that, I think it's true. Because I think the same scenario happened with Trump recently with the Epstein file, where I think he sued, I think one of the papers, I'm not quite sure what the paper name is, but he sued them when they posted a letter that he wrote to Jeffrey Epstein. I'm not obviously saying that he wrote the letter, but the accusation, as we get different information, is like maybe he did write the letter, but I'm not obviously quite sure whether he did write the letter. And it was also a kind of a PR kind of scenario as well, where you want to sue someone to prove that you are not guilty even when you are guilty. But I'm gonna post all the videos here. But honestly speaking, what's going on right now in the world, it's insane. And my God, I don't even know what to say here. Like, when it comes to like Israel and the Palestinian children dying, like starving to death, I don't even know what to say here. Honestly speaking, I don't think we are living in a world where, like, what the heck is going on? Like, has we gone insane? Like, literally children are being starved to death and we can do nothing about it. Like, the whole world is quiet. What is going on? Anyway, see for yourself, guys.
The World Health Organization's warning Gaza is suffering from man-made mass starvation caused by Israel's blockade. The WHO's Director General, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, spoke Wednesday.
As you know, mass starvation means starvation of a large proportion of a population. And a large proportion of a population of Gaza is starving. I don't know what you would call it other than mass starvation. And it's man-made. And that's very clear. And this is because of blockade. And I have said it in my statement, more than 80 days of blockade straight. And then, of course, there is opening now, but it's not enough. It's just a trickle. And people are starving.
Health officials in Gaza say at least 113 Palestinians have starved to death, including 45 over the past 4 days. Gaza officials say 500,000 bags of flour are needed each week to, quote, avoid a comprehensive humanitarian collapse, unquote. Doctors Without Borders, Save the Children, and Oxfam issued a statement saying their staff and the people they serve in Gaza are, quote, wasting away.
Life of Candace Owens, it works like this. I wake up, I stretch, I have a cup of coffee, and then I am served with a lawsuit. I think that's the morning routine, my friends. That is clearly my morning routine. It is so effortless. And today I have been sued by the first lady man of France. So let's rewind this. In case you're new here, a few weeks ago, Brigette finally lost her defamation claim against two journalists, which was taking place for years, by the way, over in France. It was the most viral story worldwide. Everyone's going, okay, obviously something is here. She's been clinging to this defamation claim, saying, oh, well, I'm suing them for defamation, and this is not true. And Brigitte's world, therefore, came crashing down because that was her only effective PR strategy. That was the only thing that they used to dissuade the rumors that she was born a man. It was an absolute farce of a lawsuit which relied upon the public not knowing the details of the lawsuit at all. In short, the lawsuit was not about whether or not she was born a man. Okay, that's not the claims of defamation that she was bringing against them, but rather it was very particular, and it was about whether or not Natasha Ray and Amandine Roy misspoke when Natasha said that a document that they had received throughout their investigation appeared to her to be fraudulent. I mean, they were getting really petty. She basically was like, if you make a mistake, I'm going to sue you for defamation. And of course, when you're working with people who won't answer basic questions, you are bound to make little mistakes. Okay, this is the reality. It is a couple in reality that has been involved in way too many pedophilic scandals. Okay, scandals that are related in some way or another to pedophiles. People that they've worked with, people that they were friends with, artists that they've hired. Things just didn't look right. Then, of course, I invited you guys to recognize that the press in France lied about their origin story. They lied about everything. They tried to present them as some modern couple, telling us that she was so hot, she was Claudia Schiffer, and even though he was 14, she was just irresistible. And then you see this picture, and you're going, what? That's a picture? The hot teacher that the press was trying to sell so people wouldn't question this odd relationship? A person that's 40 being attracted, or alleged to be 40, I actually think Brigitte's older than that, is attracted to a 14-year-old boy. That's disgusting. It's perverted. No matter what, this is an incredibly perverted story, which centers around individuals who happen to surround themselves with other perverts. That's the reality. You cannot look away from that. You're a bully. We're going to sue you. And then we're going to launch this lawsuit in against Candace in the United States, not against you as a French citizen, because we know we can't win this, but it doesn't matter because courts take a long time to establish that. And in the meantime, we can just say, finally, that we're suing her. Secondly, the audacity for Brigitte Macron to call me a bully. When we just watched Brigitte physically assault her husband on the world stage, you pummeled him. You beat him. You're the bully. You're over here. Oh, I don't like Candace's words. You whooped your husband in front of the entire world on a plane. You're the bully. You're the bully, Brigitte. And you've been bullying him, I would bet, since he was 14 years old. I think you've been grooming him, and that's the worst kind of bullying. The Financial Times reported that the lawsuit also says that their filing includes a description of the circumstances in which they met. The president was a 15-year-old student at a Jesuit high school in Amiens when he first encountered Brigitte, then a 39-year-old married teacher with 3 children. So much of that is not true. Again, they're trying to say he's 15, he was 14. According to the filings, they, quote, formed a deeper intellectual connection when she directed a production of the 1971 Milan Kundera play, Jack and His Master, in which Macron played the lead role. And later, the two began meeting regularly to collaborate on another play. Their relationship, quote, remained within the bounds of the law, the filings say. But when the teenager's parents found out about his, quote, strong feelings for his teacher, they moved him to a different school. Before he left, he told her, whatever you do, I will marry you. Dude, you're such a creep. Like, the fact that you're stating this as a defense, and you're not even telling the truth here, okay? Because you can't ignore the facts of how old he was when he was in that play. You just can't. So happy to go through this in court. But do you realize how creepy you are? How creepy this sounds? His parents then took him away because I'm disgusting, right? Because I'm a creep. Because I had power over this student and tried to seduce him, not because I looked like Claudia Schiffer, because I'm just like a creepy old man. Like, that's what happened here. And you stating this is like, oh, it's so disgusting. Anyways, like I said, you sent this lawsuit because you wanted to smear me. And it's not going to work, okay? You've met your match. And in case you haven't checked what time it is, this is not the world that you grew up in. People are tired of this, okay? You're paying attention to what's happening with Epstein, what's going on here. We are revolting against this. We're revolting against the perverts that run the world. And I want to be very clear here. I count you among them. I think you're sick. I think you're disgusting. And I am fully prepared to take on this battle on behalf of the entire world, okay? That's what I'm going to say. On behalf of the entire world, I will see you in court.
President Trump has officially filed a lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal, also Rupert Murdoch, the journal's parent companies, and the two reporters who reported out about this alleged letter that President Trump sent to Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday. This is a Wall Street Journal exclusive. They say that Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey's girlfriend at the time, sent a request to a bunch of friends for letters for his birthday, and that Trump had written one, and it was a poem that had some adult themes in it with an outline of a naked woman. And Trump says this never happened, it's fake, and he says that he warned the Journal if they wrote the story, he would file a lawsuit. That is what happened.